bland second-string quarterback doesn't get any points for scoring with a friendly bullet. It's a riotous case of backfield in motion on 1st and 10. Next.
A moment in time is coming.
Which will cleanse the universe and bring us out of darkness.
Where kingdoms are built and destroyed.
This is genocide. The deliberate and systematic destruction of all life.
All for the sake of a potent worldly treasure.
He who controls the spice controls the universe.
A mighty planet out of control.
Long live the fighters!
And a spectacular journey goes beyond all imagination.
Likes of which even God has never seen.
Frank Herbert's mystical masterpiece, Dune. A world where the unbelievable meets the unknown. Dune.
An incredible secret has been kept on this planet.
I will kill him!
The secret is revealed in Dune. This week on the Saturday Night Movie.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
What? Come again?
More powerful than a locomotive.
Kidding me.
Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
What is it?
It's a bird.
This is not right.
It's a plane.
No! You know, I think I recognize the costume.
It's Supergirl.
Aha.
She fights the forces of evil with superhuman powers.
Oh, God, that's awful.
But evil is a mighty foe.
Boy, you're really getting the hang of this.
I'm considering nothing less than world domination.
Can Supergirl save our planet?
Are you asking me? Now I am really upset.
Premiere Saturday, November 16th on HBO.
My fellow Americans, I'm here to tell you about an exciting new special on HBO. It's called Rich Little and a Night of 42 Stars. Hell, it should be a lot of fun. We'll all be there, so be sure and watch. Because it'll mean so much to us. Especially me. Especially me. Especially me.
On Location, Rich Little. Premiering Saturday, November 16th on HBO.
And after a little more time, there ain't no feeling left in your hands whatsoever. And I ain't even speaking about what it does to your knees. And I ain't even talking about what it does to your back. Now, we can't do it.
I don't care what it takes. I don't care if it kills me. I don't care if it kills you. I'm not going to give up. And if the two of you do, you can go straight to hell.
A story of one woman's struggle when there's little hope.
Something's happened to you, Pa.
A story of one family who stays together with the help of those who dared to be her friends.
I'll move away from him right now.
Sally Field, winning her 2nd Academy Award.
I'm not ignorant. And I'm not selling my land.
John Malkovich.
What do you look like?
And Danny Glover.
All right, y'all. We ain't got no time to waste. Let's get to work.
A story that proves that life's roughest kicks
God, I miss my husband.
can never destroy real love or those secret places in the heart. Premieres Sunday, November 17th on HBO.
It is an epic production that has been years in the making. Based on the biggest-selling science fiction story of all time, the film is Dune. To bring Dune to the screen is a dream that many have had, but in particular, this man. He is Frank Herbert, the author of Dune, And even though the book became an instant classic when it was written in 1964 and has gone on to be read by an estimated 40 million people, his hopes for the film audience are simple.
I want them to feel that they have been to Dune.
To give the feeling of reality to a picture set in the year 10,191, a whole new universe had to be designed and brought to life. The man put in charge of this $40 million production was director David Lynch, best known for his Oscar-nominated film, The Elephant Man.
It's a challenge and it's a risk because people have their own interpretation, their own, mental, idea of the way things are going to be.
Father, the sleeper has awakened!
The person responsible for the entire look of Dune was production designer Tony Masters, who has more than 80 films to his credit. For Masters, it was the imaginative, creative challenge that convinced him to come aboard.
We had to design everything from the knife and fork up to the, the biggest of the palaces. So it was intriguing.
At its height, the production employed 30 draftsmen to convert Tony's original paintings into blueprints for the construction of the sets, a scale rarely seen in today's films.
It's the biggest I've ever worked on because we've been able to do things in a very large scale here in Mexico that we wouldn't have been able to do anywhere else.
As time was drawing nearer to actually begin shooting the picture, Frank Herbert paid a visit to the sets for the first time to see how his dream was growing.
The difficulty is actually building the sets, creating the reality that before you could build cheaply in your head.
To capture the almost mystical mood of Dune, special attention had to be paid to the musical score. The group chosen to complement the many subtleties of the film was a successful rock and roll band, Toto. While the rest of the group worked on the score, David Page traveled to Vienna to record the band's compositions with the 90-piece Vienna Symphony Orchestra. One of the first locations the crew traveled to was a desert in Juarez, Mexico. 300 workers spent 3 months clearing away all the bushes, stones, and cactus over 25 square miles.
And then there was footprints all over the place, but then 2 nights ago, they had this huge storm and wind came in, and now it's just the perfect time to be here.
David Lynch and Herbert saw Dune with essentially the same eye. Lynch's screenplay relied heavily on Frank's book, and as a result, a special relationship developed between them.
He's been more of a friend and a supporter than anything else, which is the most important thing that he could be.
Carlo Rambaldi, who has won 3 Oscars and created E.T., took on the unenviable chore of bringing life to inanimate clay.
We have just folded space from X.
With the aid of a complex cable and hydraulic system, operators were able to control levers and simulate 41 lifelike movements.
The creature is so beautifully constructed that with my actor's imagination, I give him powers of life and I act with him.
Another of Dune's striking visual effects is the evil Baron Harkonnen's ability to hover through the air. To achieve this result, actor Ken McMillan had to spend hours each day being transformed into his hideous character. His most difficult chore was to bear the weight of a customized fat suit. Once on, McMillan weighed over 400 pounds and had to be helped to the set.
Okay, now let's take him back another 3.5 inches or so. Great.
The wires were painted and specially lit to conceal them from the camera. 2 decades have passed since Frank Herbert introduced us to the experience of Dune. And as the ultimate fan, he feels the film has succeeded in its effort to be true to his work.
I'm not one of these authors who sits there tearing his hair out saying, what are you doing to my baby? Because I know what they're doing to my baby. They're doing a beautiful job.
Finally, on March 30th, 1983, after 2 years of pre-production, the day arrived that Herbert had dreamed of. The day Dune would come to life.
Dune. Slate 1, take 1.
Dune, the Frank Herbert masterwork cherished by a generation, is on HBO this month. Watch for this incredible film adventure.
David Fowler is the kind of guy who simply can't resist a pair of pretty legs.
They were fantastic. I couldn't help myself. I just had to find out who they belonged to.
Or a pretty lady.
Too bad I'm not crazy about lady killers.
I'm not either. Though hundreds of women strolled through David's life,
You gotta watch.
he was not your typical womanizer.
Second hand?
Second hand, sure.
We got 14 minutes.
I operate on the premise that honesty is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship.
What are you saying?
I'd rather have a Big Mac.
He was the helpless victim of his own charm.
Cute thing.
And a compulsion to be with someone.
David?
Anywhere. All the time. Burt Reynolds is his usual irresistible self as the man who loved women.
Tonight on HBO.
Clint Eastwood is the cop. Burt Reynolds is the private eye. And HBO has them working together for the very first time in City Heat.
Well, it's about time.
They have to get used to being partners. After all, there's a gang war going on.
What the hell were you shooting at me for? Because you were shooting at Pitt, but he was shooting at you. Well, thanks for nothing. I wasn't shooting at you. I was trying to distract you.
It's the 30s, the middle of Prohibition. And these two guys have to keep the city clean.
I've been doing it all wrong. I've been hiding. You just walk down the middle of the street, huh?
But things start to sizzle.
See, I'm going to go upstairs and try to put a twinkle in both of Caroline's eyes. If I'm not too tired afterwards, though, I'll come down and pop your face inside out.
And tempers get hot.
Trust me, and your snail food.
When Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds fan the flames.
What a team.
Of City Heat. Tomorrow on HBO.
Something that should never have happened has happened again. One day, it's 1943.
Generator's activated, sir.
The next, it's 1984. Now there's no going back. Now the truth can't be told.
Pick him up. I didn't do anything.
Now the only person he can trust cannot trust him. And the experiment is still in progress. Only now, it's an experiment in terror. And what went wrong, no one can explain.
We opened up a hole, Barney, and it stayed open.
This time, it's not ours.
Michael Paré, Nancy Allen, The Philadelphia Experiment.
Friday on HBO. We take you now to the advertising capital of the world.
I'm Mitchell Lawrence, here on New York's Madison Avenue, to tell you that not necessarily the news is now 20% funnier. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself. Yes, the news is hotter than ever on Not Necessarily the News, only on HBO.
The new season begins Saturday. Get ready.
The stars. This fall, nobody brings them home like HBO.
Next week on The Hitchhiker, for a wealthy family, it was so easy to dismiss their crippled daughter's fears,
You hate me.
to wave away her anguish.
Never go.
But before the sun rises again, no one will be left to stop the terror. The Hitchhiker, premiering Tuesday, November 12th on HBO. When he appears, strange things happen.
It's a case of so many women, so little time, and our man is suffering because he keeps looking for love in all the wrong places. Burt Reynolds is The Man Who Loved Women. Next.
The following movie has been rated R by the Motion Picture Association of America. It is intended for mature audiences. Parents may wish to consider whether it should be viewed by children under 17. HBO will show this feature only at night.